So, good morning, good afternoon, good day. So, for SAS 20, we will discuss results without uppercut. I know some of you have seen the video of the short discussion of Dr. Ambeto Campos. So, I know some of you knows Dr. Ambeto Campos. So, this is one of his best books, Result Without an Overcoat. So, I've said. So, okay, so Results Without an Overcoat. This is the copy of the book. Okay, so who is Ambet Ocampo? So before we discuss without the overcoat, okay. So who is Ambet Ocampo? Again, he is a renowned Filipino historian, professor, and columnist. I think the title of his column is Looking Back. So you can follow his Facebook, and I think he has also a YouTube channel. Okay, so he is known for making history accessible through his Looking Back column. Again, published Rizal without an overcoat. Okay, during in 1990, which is the year I was born. And again, the book is very again you can still apply, and it's a beautiful read, and it's much easier to understand. Okay, so his approach was humanizing historical figures like Rizal, because again, in the past we look at heroes as mythical uh, beings, godlike. Okay, so the purpose of Rizal without an overcoat was to strip away the myth of Rizal as a national hero, to show with flaws, struggles, and complexities as a result. To read the book is one, humanizing Rizal. Rizal as a relatable figure with personal struggles, not a demigod. Yeah. Again, as we discussed earlier, when Rizal was making the books, his family um, experienced a lot of struggles, abuses by the Spaniards. Okay, when he was in college, in UST, and in high school, and he experienced discrimination. He experienced heartaches, the same as students. Okay, when he was in when he was standing in Madrid. Okay, he experienced a thrift life, diba? As I've discussed nga, most Ilustrados do not like Rizal because Rizal was very kuripot. That and so that's how we relate to Rizal. Rizal is the same with us. He is a person, okay? And Rizal has flaws and contradiction, okay? Rizal's ambivalence towards armed revolution and struggles with personal relationships. Again, he's being kuripot, but sometimes he is, as I've shared with you, diba, he had an experience with Chinese merchants during that time. And uh, he did not want he did not advocate for revolution but only for assimilation, because he saw that Filipinos was not ready, and most, like for example Andres Bonifacio, would see nga kailan ba tayo magiging handa, kailan ang revolusyon. So that's the struggles of Rizal. Okay, his complexity of nationalism, Rizal's global perspective and ideas through reform education. Okay. Rizal values in on campus portrayal. Okay. Key values highlighted is one is nationalism, okay, advocating for peaceful reform, education as a tool for change. Again, the importance of self-learning and empowerment. As I've discussed to you in the past, when he was in exile in the Pitan, he did a lot of things, and he created a school for boys, diba? And not only that, he taught the boys how to speak the normal education, but he taught them English. He taught them farming, okay, more of technical schooling, and that's how results saw it. Because if you want to change the society, you need an education. If you want to develop a society, you need education. Okay, social justice results lifelong fight against colonial injustice and equality. Okay, Rizal has progressive views on gender roles and relationships. Okay, so exploring Rizal's contradiction. Okay, Rizal's eternal struggle, endorsing peaceful reform but recognizing the need for potential armed resistance. Okay, okay, that is one of the reason he wanted to go to Cuba, because he wanted to learn military tactics. Because again, they are educated in Spain, but militarily they don't have an experience. Because that is why he saw that the Philippines during the time was not ready for an armed revolution. We don't have the capacity militarily. We don't have the know-how or knowledge. Okay, his controversial stance on the anti-Chinese riots in Manila, balancing his role as a reformer with his personal relationships and emotions. Okay, humanizing the hero, a more personal Rizal. Okay, we thought in the book Without an Overcoat, it talks about Rizal's cooking, laundry, his taste for food, his love for the German culture. He loves German women. Okay, his relationship with Josephine Bracken as an disciple of defying social expectation. Because during that time, if you are living with your girlfriend or your woman that you're in love, then you should be married under the sacrament of the church. But again, they were not given. So Rizal defied expectation. Okay, sometimes they would um, always say that Rizal was the first famous publicly living in a common relationship or live-in relationship. Okay, so Ocampo's Rizal's portrayal of Rizal's internal conflicts making him more relatable to our readers. Okay, so what are the takeaways? Again, so again, Ocampo's work allows us to see Rizal as a complex human being, not just a national symbol. The values Rizal championed, education, social justice, and reform, are still relevant in today's society. Okay, so the what he did in the Pitan should be further studied and should be explained by history teachers, because um, that is one of the happiest moments of his life. Okay? He done a lot of things in a short time of period. What he envisioned for the Philippines. Yeah, I think some of our history, that is one of the lack of our understanding of Rizal. Again, Rizal is had this humor, diba? He had a picture of a farting man, diba? And again, the problem is we do not appreciate Rizal. Yes, we value him as a national hero, but we hardly read his greatest contribution, which is his two books, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. So in order for us to understand Rizal, we should read him and not look at him on monuments. Okay? Rizal is beyond those monuments. Okay? And we should ask questions beyond what is taught to us. Okay? So I hope you understand, guys. Thank you.